100 million Americans, that's 25%, have NAFLD, which is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This is becoming more common actually in children, which is really devastating. These numbers in children have doubled in the past 20 years. When more than 5 to 10% of the liver's weight is fat, then that's one indicator that you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Why would the liver be fat? Well, it's because the liver has been abused. The majority of them are overweight or they're obese. They have prediabetes or diabetes. They tend to have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and they're usually at risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, this is, again, due to the standard American diet. It's the saturated fats that have a major role. Start taking action. That's really the bottom line. This is no joking matter.
You're listening to the Visibly Fit Podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Wendie Pett, and every week I'll give you holistic, practical solutions for everyday issues related to nutrition, healing, functional fitness, and behavior modifications. As a naturopath, fitness expert, and wellness coach for over 20 years, my goal is to empower you to reach for greater health and to rise up to your next level of living in mind, body, and spirit. You were created with greatness in mind. It's time to own it. Are you with me? Then let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome to the Visibly Fit Podcast. I'm your host, Wendie Pett. It's so good to be here with you today. Whatever you are doing, thank you for taking the time to join me in talking about today's topic, which is what? Well, I'll let you know in a minute. First of all, I want you to know that I think about you a lot. I want to give you podcasts that you really enjoy and experts on that you learn from. And so if you ever have any comments or anything to share, or maybe a guest that you think would be a perfect fit for this podcast, please share it with me. I'm definitely open to options and ideas, and I want to give you what you want to hear. So feel free to email me at any time at wendy@wendiepett.com. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are listening to this live time, we are moving in towards the end of October, and oh my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful here in Minnesota right now. The trees are turning all different colors, and it's just my favorite time of year. It's just gorgeous. So we've got the reds and the vibrant yellows and the golds and just the oranges. It's just, I don't know, it's just breathtaking. We walk outside, my husband and I, and we'll go for a walk around the block, and we're just like, oh, it's just so breathtaking. So it's just amazing to me too, that something so beautiful can, it appears to be so beautiful, and yet it's kind of a time when things are going in a dormant season, kind of dying, if you will. And so God makes beauty out of everything. He really, really does. But thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're getting outside and enjoying the beauty as well. Whether you have the vibrant colors or not, make sure you're getting outside, getting that vitamin D, and getting your steps in. But today we're going to be talking about the liver. Yes, that's an exciting topic. There was a time in my life that I wasn't so kind to my liver. I don't know about you, but man, I am grateful that I changed my tune and how I took care of myself, because I was just really not very nice to it. But I do have a couple fun liver puns that I wanted to share, just because this is such a serious topic. I thought it'd be fun just kind of start off with some funny puns. Here's one. It just says, I would tell you a liver joke, but it might be awful. Awful? Awful? How do you say it? I don't even know. Awful. I don't even know, but I know what that is. It's supposed to sound like awful, but that OFFAL is actually the waste parts that butchers kind of set aside and don't sell, and we don't eat. And that waste part would be the liver. Yeah, nobody eats the liver. Yuck. Let's see. Here are a couple others. Let's see. My liver started exercising. It joined a Biolates class. A Biolates. A bump, bump. Yeah, I feel like doing that little drum roll kind of thing. I asked my liver for financial advice, and it told me to invest in liquid assets. I love that one. Yes, you should be drinking a lot of liquids to help that liver move out those toxins. That's a good one. Let's see. Here's a couple more. I offered my liver a bicycle, but it declined, saying it doesn't have the biality. Oh, I get it. Doesn't have the biality to stay balanced. Get it? Biality, ability. Okay, these are just kind of corny, right? Cry me a liver. How about that one? Okay, one last one. My liver could be a world champion, but it doesn't have the stomach for competition. Okay, those are all a little corny, but I thought it would be fun as we are, again, going into this serious topic because it really is a serious, serious issue. Experts actually say that 100 million Americans, that's 25%, have NAFLD, which is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's also known as MASLD, or metabolic associated steatotic liver disease, And so I think about that, and that's really a sad number, right? 100 million Americans, 25%. This is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And this is becoming more common actually in children, which is really devastating. These numbers in children have doubled in the past 20 years. Why is that? Well, I'm sure you can probably guess. But when more than 5 to 10% of the liver's weight is fat, then that's one indicator that you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Again, NAFLD for short. But why would the liver be fat? Maybe you're asking that question. Why would the liver be fat? Well, it's because the liver has been abused. Now, this isn't, again, we're not talking about alcohol or cirrhosis of the liver, where it's just been so abused and there's all kinds of scar tissue. We're talking about without alcohol abuse and use, the liver is not doing well. No, it's the case that it's just been consuming the standard American diet. Well, it hasn't, but it's having to process the standard American diet. And it's also a liver that's been living probably more of a sedentary lifestyle. Because when the liver is really overloaded, it cannot filter out all the toxins in the fat and also the fat, right? Did you know that there's actually more than 600 toxins that can be found in fat cells? 600. Yeah. Toxins overload the detoxification pathways in your liver, and they also block enzymes that burn fat. So if you've been struggling to lose weight, this could be not the reason why, but one reason why. Now, I don't know if you know anybody that has NAFLD, but the majority of them that I've seen in my practice or have known over the years are overweight, right? Or they're obese. They have prediabetes or diabetes. They tend to have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and they're usually at risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, this is, again, due to the standard American diet. It's the saturated fats that have a major role in the insulin resistance that the liver is having problems with, right? Now, many people blame sugar to be the issue with insulin resistance. Now, sugar certainly does not help, but the saturated fats are the huge culprit. And so where do those saturated fats come from? We know they come from meats, right? They come from dairy, hydrogenated oils, palm oils, and other seed oils. When you think of your lifestyle and your diet, do you eat a lot of meat? I don't care if we're talking red meat or chicken, okay? Meat. There's still a lot of saturated fat. What about dairy? A lot of people say, oh, no, I don't drink milk. Well, dairy is so much more than milk, right? Dairy is cheese and yogurt and butter, ice cream. There's a lot of things that qualify as dairy, not just milk, okay? So there is saturated fat there. Oils. People use oils all the time, and those oils are in a lot of processed foods. And you may not even realize that you're consuming oils, and you are. So these are some of the major culprits to these saturated fats that are wreaking havoc on your liver. Now, here's the deal. I really want to give you hope in this podcast. I want to give you hope about your liver. I want to give you hope about your future, because the liver is really just a fascinating organ. And it's one of the only organs in the body that can heal itself after injury. In fact, get this, liver cells can regenerate within just 1 to 2 weeks of injury. 1 to 2 weeks, if you're taking care of it during that time frame, right? But now here's something else that's really cool. The liver can fully regenerate itself in just 30 days. Unless your liver is severely injured, then it can probably take a few months to a year. But it's doable. For the most part, it's doable. But you must be willing to do the work to get healed. And so that's the bigger kind of issue, if you will, right? Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to get rid of those saturated fats? Are you willing to ditch the sugar? Are you willing to change your lifestyle and do maybe a liver cleanse and eat for your best liver health, like a whole food, plant-based diet? Are you willing to move your body? Are you willing to get ample amounts of vitamin D, manage your stress, drink lots of water, just like in that pun, with financial advice? Go for the liquid assets. And also, you got to have good sleep hygiene. Your body heals and repairs itself when it's sleeping, when you're at rest. So are you willing to do that? Because if you say, nah, you know what? I'm not really willing to do that. I'm just going to, live my life and do what I do. And when my time's up, my time's up. Okay, well, that's a choice. But I would really love it. And I know the people that love you and care about you around you would love it if you change the way you're taking care of yourself so that you can have more years here on earth and more quality years. That's the bigger thing. It's about putting life into your years. It's not always about having more years, right? Because if it's not good quality, what does that really matter? No, we want to have good quality in our years. So I have talked about, liver health on this show before, but I bring it up because it's really important. And the numbers are only going up because of the way people are eating, and especially with our children. Oh my goodness, parents, you have more control over your children and how they, their health than maybe you're giving yourself credit for. But it's just important. And for me personally, it's important because I have a couple people near and dear to me that have been made aware that they have NAFLD. And so I just really wanted to kind of touch on this, right? So there's a few things that I'm a big fan of that are simple things in addition to changing your lifestyle and, namely what you're eating, right? But I'm a big fan of drinking dandelion root tea. Okay, this can help with that liver detoxification process. I'm a big fan of taking milk thistle. This can help reduce inflammation, or even using artichoke extract to support bile flow, which this is really important for fat digestion. Okay, so these are just 3 little things that you could do or add on top of what you're doing as you're changing your lifestyle to have a healthy liver. But also you want to make sure you're consuming omega-3s. That is vital. Things like flax seeds and walnuts. And when you have those flax seeds, make sure you grind them up so it's more like flax meal. Put it on your oats in the morning. You can put it on top of your salads. But those are good options. And of course, again, go back to making sure that you're eating a pure, and I stress that big time, like pure whole food plant-based diet, because this will definitely allow for your liver to heal and to begin to operate in a healthy way again in a short time when you are fueling it with the proper nutrients. Now, I'm also a fan of coenzyme Q10. Many of you know it as CoQ10. It's a really good idea. So I kind of want to touch on that today because it is a naturally occurring antioxidant that's found in the body, especially in the mitochondria of our cells. And what is that? That's where energy is produced. And so it's critical for you to have energy, right? And so CoQ10 can really help with that process of energy production. It's essential. It really is. It's essential for production of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. And again, that's the main energy carrier in the cells. So this will help you if you're feeling really fatigued and you've got like a lot of lethargy. This can help improve your function at the cellular level. Get that energy that you so crave. So CoQ10 can help. Okay. A lot of you probably know CoQ10 for more heart health. Yes, it may be beneficial for your heart health, but it's also beneficial for those with fatty liver disease. Okay. It helps with oxidative stress. And remember, stress is a problem. Stress causes inflammation. And so CoQ10, it acts as that antioxidant that's going to really neutralize those free radicals and reduce that oxidative stress and damage in the cells in the liver, right? Those liver cells. So CoQ10, it's a good thing that can help improve your liver health. Again, you have to do a little bit of everything. It's not just take CoQ10, but I just wanted to focus on that today because it does have some really good elements to it that can help. I mean, even it helps with lipid metabolism and of the metabolism of the fats in the liver. So it really will help kind of to break down the fatty acids and reduce, again, the accumulation of fat in the liver, which is really the hallmark of fatty liver disease, right? 5 to 10% of that liver is considered fat. And then that's when they say, oh, you've got NAFLD, okay? So there's a lot of people that have even fattier livers than 5 or 10%, right? They have 30, 40, 50% of a fatty liver. I mean, it's going, if you keep going in that direction, your liver is not going to work at all, okay? And you're looking at liver transplant, who knows, right? What the next steps there will be. But you've got to start doing something to change your health. And you are in more control than you realize, okay? You really are. Now, some studies have actually shown that CoQ10 can actually lead to a decrease in elevated liver enzymes such as ALT and AST. And again, these are indicators of inflammation and damage in your liver. So normalizing these enzymes can really improve liver function. So if we can start to kind of get a balance and start to get the inflammation out of the liver, that's going to be key as well. Again, the food that you eat is going to play the biggest role of all of it. Okay, it really will. Now, I'm also going to throw in a little note about emotions because our liver actually, is affected by the emotions that we do not manage because of the chemical dump and then just the toxins that we hang on to, especially again in those fat cells, and the liver just can't process very well. And so managing your emotions is going to be a big key role and liver health as well. So what does that look like for you? I don't know. It might be doing some deep breathing exercises. It might be phoning a friend. It might be prayer and meditation. That would be my number one go-to for you, but you know yourself better than anybody. But going for a walk, really kind of processing instead of just hanging on to unhealthy, unresolved emotions. Okay. Again, we really just have to take this into our own hands. We want to have that energy production. And again, CoQ10 is going to help with that mitochondrial function. And, it's not going to hurt. Okay. Let's just put it that way. And again, as we age, we start to deplete the amount of CoQ10 that our bodies produce. So supplementation, in my opinion, especially if you have NAFLD, is going to be very beneficial. CoQ10 also helps to improve that insulin sensitivity, right? Which is so important because it's that insulin resistance that is the common factor of development of NAFLD. So if you've got, insulin sensitivity just a little bit, you're starting to see that in your blood work, bringing in CoQ10 can start to lead to more improved metabolic health, and it can reduce that fat accumulation in the liver. And that's what we're after. That's what we're after. So I don't know, bring it in. My husband actually takes one from Costco. They've got a bit, I haven't looked into that one fully, but there's a lot of good options out there. Liquid, I think it's going to be a better option in my opinion. So check out some healthy sources. I'll put a couple links in the show notes. But most importantly, if you are dealing with NAFLD, then start taking action. That's really the bottom line. You can't, we can't joke around about it. I know I started this podcast with a few puns, a few jokes, but this is no joking matter. And you do have you have more power in how you live out your next years of your life in your hands than you realize. So start eating clean. Start fueling your body with whole food, plant-based nutrients. Start to drink lots of water so you can really detox and push out those toxins in the liver. Really manage your stress, manage those emotions. Get to bed on time, sleep, get some good vitamin D, right? These are all important things that can help you manage your NAFLD, okay? And remember, this organ regenerates itself. You could have a brand new organ in 30 days. I mean, how awesome is that? You could totally repair it in a couple of weeks if you're like so on track that you just stay pure in your eating and what you're doing with your hydration and getting rid of stress and that kind of thing. I mean, you're not going to get rid of stress, but you know what I mean? Managing it through deep breathing and processing unhealthy emotions. It is about deciding to make a change. It's about saying, you know what, I want to have a lot more years ahead, and I want these years to be quality years. I don't want to be in some, assisted living home and my body is completely failed. Right? That's not living. You want to live a life that you're living full out, right? And you have the power. You really do. So I hope you're encouraged a little bit to know that your liver can get healthy and well if it's not already so injured that you might be in a different stage. But if you're in a place where you're like, you know what? I just found out that I have NAFLD and it's not, quote unquote, that bad yet. Well, good. Well, let's get a handle on it and get this reversed, because you can do that. And it's not only going to reverse the liver function, it's going to help you all the way around. You're going to release weight. You're going to have all this energy. You're going to be able to turn off certain gene receptors that are not going to contribute to maybe cancers down the road. I mean, I'm telling you, you've got more control than you realize. So take action today. And if you're looking for someone to assist you with this action, I'm here for you. Okay. All you have to do is go to getvisiblyfit.com and let's get started. You would be amazed at what can happen in just 7 weeks. I've seen it in the blood work and it is like mind blowing what you can do with the right program, the right protocol, and you can get your health on track. So I believe in you. Let's do this. Whether or not you have NAFLD or some other issue that you're really wanting to get a handle on, I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And we have an incredible tribe that has already been there, done that, and they will love you through it just as well. So again, go to getvisiblyfit.com. Let's get you started today. Your HSA or FSA does work. If you want to pay with using that as opposed to a credit card or whatever, that's totally fine with me. You have that ability. So take this seriously. You don't have to wait for New Year's. You can start today. It's all good. And if you just have questions, just feel free to reach out on my social media. I'm here for you. Or just email me at Wendie@wendiepett.com. Okay? All right. As always, be blessed. Just keep on loving you, okay? And if you haven't loved you in a long time, this is your invitation to start loving yourself healthy and well. All right. All right. Take care. And thank you so much for tuning in. And please share this podcast with others. I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Visibly Fit. Take care.
Well, that's a wrap for today's show. So thank you so much for tuning in. I love spending this time with you. To learn more and get more free resources, just head on over to wendiepett.com. And thank you in advance for sharing this episode and this podcast, following and subscribing not only to this podcast, but finding me on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, I'm probably there too. Until next week and our next podcast time together, make it a Visibly Fit day.